Good evening, everybody.
Kabbalah Taraf, how are you?
Thank God.
Oh, Hashem.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to 31. נראה לי שבמקום שנוהגים לשלשל הטלית על פניהם, אפילו יש כמה מומים לפניו וידיו, ואינו דש בעירו, יישא את כפיו דתו לקה למחש להסח הדת. So he says something interesting, that if this person, this Kohen, he lives in a place where they put the talit over their head and hands. So then, even if he has several blemishes on his face and on his hands, and he's not even known as in his city, he can still do it, do the blessing. Because we're not concerned about getting distracted in a case like that. ואף על פי שאפשר לגזרינן עד מקום שאין נוהגים לשלשלו. And even though it's possible that we could decree in a place where they don't put the talit over their head, כיוון דאיש מומין בידיו ופניו לא יישא את כפיו, אינו מן הדין אלא משום שלא יסיחו דעתם. כל שנוהגים לישא כפיהם, בעניין דלקה למחש להסח דעת. So he says like this, that if he had blemishes in his hands or his face, he wouldn't bless the people. That's only because they may come to get distracted. But if there's no concern about getting distracted, then it's okay, there's no problem. But he says it's not so. Why? Because the other Kohanim are not putting the talit over their head. And the one who does have the blemishes does put it over their head. And that here, we shouldn't allow this. Since he's different from his fellows, to see him or to look at him, and to get distracted. So it says, even if the Kohanim wanted, even if the Kohanim wanted that even if the Kohanim wanted that they should put the talit over their head. We shouldn't allow it anyway. כיוון שלא הורגלו בני העיר, since the people of the town are not accustomed to this, שהכהנים ישלשלו טליתיהם, that the Kohanim should put the talit over their head. כשרואים שמשלשלים אותם יודעים שבשביל זה, when they see that they do put the talit over their head, they know that because of this, שיש בו מום, this is because they have a blemish. That's why they do it. ובאים להסתכל בו, therefore they come to stare at him, וכל שכן אם הוא לבדו נושא כפיו. All the more so if he himself is doing the blessing, משלשל טליתו, and he puts the talit over the head. Okay. Okay, let's see Shulchan Aruch here.
Kavod harav, so essentially he's covering the blemish with the talit, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So it says in Shulchan Aruch, אם מנהג המקום לשלשל הכהנים טלית על פניהם. If the custom of that place is that the Kohanim put talit over their head, אפילו יש בפניו ובידיו כמה מומים, even if they have several blemishes, יישא כפיו, so he's allowed to bless the people. As we said, the reason is because, since everything is covered, so we're not concerned about people getting distracted and so forth and so on. So says the Ramah here, דווקא אם היו ידיו בפניו בפנים מן הטלית. That's only when his hands are inside the talit. So what does that mean? They're covered and you can't see nothing. But if they're outside, so then talit doesn't help with the hands. Right? We spoke about this before, that the Ramah said that some people had accustomed to do outside, some people had accustomed to do inside. So, depending on the custom, right? If your custom is to do outside, then it doesn't help you to cover it. But if your custom is to do inside, so then it does help, because now nobody can see it, and therefore there's not going to be any distraction. Okay, that's that. If you have any questions, let me know.
Kavod harav, so if the custom is not to place a talit, no? And he has the blemish, so he has to wait for the 30 days in order for people to get used to it, in order to bless?
Yeah, that's a good point, because we said 30 days is the time.
It's a heter, no? Like the leniency, 30 days, could it be?
I'm sorry, what was that again?
30 days could be that, like a heter, that he could rely on,
I didn't understand that word. 30 days could
like
be...
heter, like the leniency to wait the 30 days in order for him to bless.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Go to 33. Yeah, so it says the Torah like this. If he doesn't know how to pronounce the words properly, for instance, the ones who interchange the aleph with the ayin, or the ayin and alfin, or the other way around, they could say the things like this, so you shouldn't do the blessing, a person like this. Katan or afilu gadol, also another thing is, he doesn't have a beard. Lo yisakabab, you shouldn't do the priestly blessing. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean that he has to have a beard. It means that he has to have, the ability to grow a beard. That's what it means. That's only himself. But with others, with others, he can do it as long as he knows how to do it. Kohen, it's interesting. Okay. Let's see the Bet Yosef. So it says Bet Yosef, very simple. Gam Sham, it's also over there, right? Just gives you a source, that Gemara that we talked about. Yeah, so it says Shulchan Aruch like this. Mi she'eno yodea lachtoch et ha'otiyot. He doesn't know how to pronounce the words properly. כגון שאומר לאלפין עינין ועינין אלפין, he interchanges the ayin with the aleph or the aleph with the ayin. כיוד זה וזה, things like this, לא יסייד kabab. You shouldn't do the blessing. What's the reason why, by the way? It says in the Gemara there that the reason is because what happens is that since he pronounces things incorrectly, the meaning of what he's saying also changes, and it changes the meaning and turns it into something not good. So therefore, the proper thing to do is, right, he shouldn't do the blessing until he learns how to pronounce things properly. But we tell him, listen, we'll send you, to a good rabbi, right, good chazan, he'll teach you how to pronounce everything properly. So, this way, once he masters it, he can come in and do it with his job. Also, another thing you have to know is that, what we said, that when a person mispronounces things, that's only if in his community, right, it's considered to be incorrect. But if all community does like him, so then it's not considered to be a problem. So if everybody does like him, so then nobody will notice anything. Nobody will notice that it's mispronounced because they all do it like that. So therefore, it won't be a problem. Let's just see what the Mishnah Berurah says about this. Exactly what I told you, right? That's what he says. And if everybody does it like that, everybody does it wrong, so then it's okay. So yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah, so as we said right in the tour, we said that if a person is katan or gadol, but he doesn't have a beard, can't grow a beard, he shouldn't do the blessing. That's only if he's by himself. Where is this written? In Perek Akoret Megillah, it says with Yosef, right? In this Perek, in the Megillah, it says over there, Tanan, we learned in the Mishnah, Katan Kore Batorah Mutargin, that a child can read the Torah and translate, but it doesn't do the Shema, ואינו עובר לפני התיבה. He doesn't also, right, it shouldn't be the chazan. ואינו נושא את כפיו. He can't do the priestly blessing. וכתבו תוספות, says תוספות. משמע אם הביא שתי שערות, it implies that if he has two hairs, he said כפיו, that he could do the priestly blessing. וקשה, difficult, why? תהסוף פרק כמה דחולים over there in the end of the perek. Aminam de eno nosit kapav. We say over there that he shouldn't do his blessing. Hachit malezikano until he has a full beard. The odd kasher, we also difficult. Aminam sof perek lulav agazu. We said because we said over there, this perek. Katan hayodea lisat kapav. A child that knows how to do a priestly blessing. Kolkin lo tuma, we give him tuma to eat. The goren in the granary. Ve'af katan, ve'afilu katan mamash. And even if he's like a small kid, mashma, even that implies, so it seems to contradict one the other. So therefore, it tries to reconcile a bit Yosef. That which in Lulav Gazul over there, and the Gemara, it's dealing with in Kohanim Dolim, talking about Kohanim who are adults. ללמוד ולהתחנך, to learn and to train. בפסטינן האחה קטן מהר בין גדולים עמו. And that which we disqualify in here, Katan, is talking about there's no gedolim with him. There's no big kohanim with him. The Chulin, and that one, that Kiman Chulin, the Bay Milui Zakan, that requires a total beard. That's talking about somebody who is going to do the blessing, on a daily basis, on a constant basis. But if it's something just once in a while, he's able to do the blessing. Even though his beard is not full yet, to be considered to be one of the Kohanim. Also says in the Rosh, also these rabbis, according to this, he says, there's three differentiations. What does that mean? The katan, if you have a katan who doesn't have even two hairs, בפני עצמו כלל. He doesn't do the priestly blessing at all, אבל אם כהנים שהם גדולים, so if he's by himself, he can't do it at all. But if he's with people who are big, כהנים who are adults, נושא את כפיו, ללמוד ולהתחנך. So then he can do it for the sake of being trained. ולהביא שתי שערות, מי שהביא שתי שערות, and a person who has 2 hairs, נושא את כפיו, he can do the blessing, אפילו בפני עצמו, even by himself. ומיהו, however, דווקא באקראי בעלמא, that's only once in a while. ולא בקביעות, but not on a permanent basis. עד שתתמלא זקנו, until his beard gets full. שאז נושא כפיו בקבע, so then he can do it permanently. ובתמהני על רבנו שישווה דין קטן לדין גדול. So he says, I'm wondering about Rabbeinu, the Torah, that he equated the din of Katan with the din of Gadol, שלא נתמלא זקנו, doesn't have a beard, שלא יישא את כפיו, he shouldn't do the blessing, לבדו by himself, ואף על פי שכן, ואף על פי שכך נראה, שהוא דעת הרמב"ם, even though it seems like that's what the Rambam also agrees with this, שכתב בכהן נער, לא יישא את כפיו, he wrote that the Kohen, who was a child, shouldn't do the priestly blessing, עד שיתמלא זקנו, until his beard is full, ועל כוכך לבדו כמה, and he must be talking there about somebody who's גדול, he's an adult, עם אחרים אפילו, because even if you're talking about others, אפילו קטן נושא כפיו, even if the child can do it, כדאמינו לסוף פרק לולב גזול, אני מסתכל בנגוס פרק, לכן כתב הסימן כדסו לצאת הסימן גם כן, בכל מקום הווה לרבנו לכתוב שרת הראש, so רבנו should have written the opinion of the ראש, וזה ואפשר שנוסחת פסקי הראש, so it says it's possible that the text of the psak of the Rosh שבידו הייתה משונה משלנו, maybe he had a different text there. וכבר כתבתי בסימן ג' נון, he says I wrote in the סימן, ומשמע לי שכל שהגיע לשניים שנים שראוי להתמלא זקנו. It seems to me that the person who already has the age where he can have a full beard, אף על פי שלא נתמלא, קרינן להם מתמלא. Even though it didn't get full yet, but we called it as full. Since it has the potential already, is a kano. וגם כתבתי שם, also I wrote there, שכתב הקודו, that this rabbi wrote, שנתמלא זקנו, that when he's talking about having a full beard, היינו זקן, זקן התחתון, he says that's talking about pubic hair. ושאינו נראה כך כן מדברי הפוסקים, the poskim don't seem to agree with that. Okay, very good. Let's see the Shulchan Aruch. Okay, so says Shulchan Aruch, קטן שלא הביא שתי שערות. When you have a child who doesn't have 2 hairs yet, אינו נושא את כפיו, he shouldn't do the priestly blessing, לפני עצמו כלל, right, by himself at all. So what are we talking about? We're talking, okay, let's see. Well, let's go on first. אבל אם כהנים שהם גדולים, but if he's doing it with other כהנים who are already adults, נושא, he can do it, ללמוד ולהתחנך, to learn the craft, right, to be trained. ומי שהביא שתי שערות, person who already has 2 hairs, נושא את כפיו, he can do the blessing, אפילו בפני עצמו, even by himself. ומי הוא דווקא באקראי בעלמא, that's only temporarily, once in a while. ולא בכפיות, but not on a permanent basis, עד שיתמלא זקנו, until his beard gets full. ושאז יכול לשא כפיו, then he can already do the blessing, אפילו יחידי בקבע, right, even by himself, and also permanently. לכן שככל שהגיע לשנים שראוי להתמלא זקנו, if he came already to the age where he can have a full beard, even though he doesn't, אף על פי שלא נתמלא, קרינן, we call that נתמלא זקנו, that's already full. דהיינו לאל סימן נ"ג סעיף ח'. So yeah, those are the rules that we just mentioned. So that's the Shulchan Aruch. Let's see the Torah. So it says in the Torah like this: Kohen sheharag et nefesh, right? Let's say a Kohen, he killed somebody, right? Committed murder. Afilu b'shogeg lo yisakapav. Even if it was inadvertent, you shouldn't do the priestly blessing anymore. Dichtib, as it says in the verse, ובפרשכם כפיכם העלים איני מכם גם כי תרבו תפילה אינני שומע ידיכם דמים מלאו אמיר לא יישא כפיו. Yeah, so basically, right, what we're saying here is that this verse is alluding to the fact that if he committed murder, he cannot bless the people anymore. So it says the Rambam, he says Zal afilu shab b'tshuva, even if he repented, right? Doesn't help. You cannot do it. But when it comes to other sins, we don't prevent him from doing the priestly blessing. But Rashi says, since he did tshuva, he can do it. He can bless. That's what says Rabbeinu Gershom. He brings Zohar from Yerushalmi, and he brings the source from Yerushalmi. And it shouldn't say, right? You shouldn't say that the Kohen is doing all kinds of sins, illicit relations and so forth, and murder. Hashem says, והר"ם מרוטנבורג כתב שאין אומרים לו לעלות ואם עלה אין מוחים בידו. So this rabbi says something in the middle, right? If we don't tell him to go up, but if he wants to go up, we don't object. The Rabbi Netronai Katab, okay, let's see what Mitchell said. So he brings the source, Pek and Omdim. Amar Rabbi Yochanan ben Kol Kohen sheharag et nefesh, says in the Gemara there, Brachot Lamed Bet Amud Bet, any Kohen that killed somebody, lo yisak kapav, he shouldn't bless. Shenemar, as it says in the pasuk, Yidechem damim maleu, your hands are full of blood. V'katav Rambam says, Shafilu harag et nefesh, b'shkagar, and if he did it inadvertently, Rambam said, lo yisak kapav, he shouldn't do the priestly blessing. Yachol she'asat teshuvah, even if he did teshuvah. L'agaot Maimoniot, what this rabbi says about Mordechai, the Pekah Koret Megillah, Omed, Katvu sheRavia Omer, they said that Ravia says, Dafka befusam halarogu. That's only somebody who was known to kill somebody, right? Famous, publicized. Mu'ad lekach, and he's known to, be used to it. Who the law is kapab. That's the one who cannot do the priestly blessing. לכן כתב רבנו שמחה, it also says in this rabbi, שלא איירה אלא בעומד במרדו, it's only talking about somebody who, right, is still continuing a sinful behavior. והיה מדמינא מירושלמי, the sources from Yerushalmi, פרק הנזקין, over there in הלכה ט', שמעון תאמר, maybe you're going to say, כהן זה מגלה עריות ושופך דמים, והיינו ברכנו, אמר הקדוש ברוך הוא, so, right, even if you're going to say, what, this Kohen was a sinner, he's going to bless us. So Hashem tells you, he's not blessing you, I'm the one who's blessing you, right? I'm the one who's in charge of this whole thing. As it says in the pasuk, so it says in the verse, right, I will bless them. What does that mean? Hashem will bless them. So the Rambam says that Yerushalmi is talking about somebody who's not really particular in mitzvot. And he's getting a bad name. He has a bad name. That he's a murderer. אבל בידוע שהרג את הנפש, but know that he killed somebody, לא יישא כליו. You shouldn't bless. Okay, let's see Shulchan Aruch.
Kavod Harav,
Yes.
the ones who are in the Kohen that marries somebody who's not supposed to, no? Does this fall into this category that he's not allowed, that the offspring, his offspring or their offspring is not allowed to go up and bless in the priestly blessing?
Yeah, I mean, if he, if he married, let's say, a divorced woman, right?
Yeah.
Not allowed to marry a divorced woman. So his children are called halalim, and they're not kohanim.
Ah,
So they can't bless.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So it says in Shulchan Aruch like this: Kohen sheharag et hanefesh, right? Kohen that killed somebody, afilu b'shogeg, even inadvertently, lo yisad kapav, he shouldn't bless. Afilu asat teshuvah, even if he did teshuvah. Says the Rama, v'yesh omrim de'im asat teshuvah noseh kapav. Some say if he did teshuvah, he can do it. V'yesh le'akel al ba'alei teshuvah. So he says we can be lenient regarding people who are ba'alei teshuvah. Shelo all delet b'fneim, that we shouldn't lock up their opportunities. The Achi Nahug says it's a custom. Okay, so you see, right, that the Rama seems to hold that if he did tshuva, he can do it, but the Maran, the Shulchan Aruch doesn't hold that way, right? He says no. Even if he did teshuvah, he cannot do it. We saw the same machloket in the Bet Yosef, right? So basically, right, that's pretty much the same over here. Okay, very good. Chazak Baruch, be blessed with wealth, health, happiness. See you tomorrow. Bezat Hashem, Laila Tov. Chazak Baruch, and Bezat Hashem, keep praying for our soldiers, our army, doing a tremendous job over there. Right, Baruch Hashem, Yishtabach Shemo. We never thought that we're going to get such a thing like this. It says like this in the Chazal, right? In the Talmud, it says, "Kol ma de'avid rachamana lata'ava avid." All right, what does that mean? Everything that Hashem does is for the best. So what does that mean? Even this was for the best. Why? Because we got a chance to wipe them out, eradicate them. So in the end, it was for the best. Otherwise, they would have stayed there. God knows how long. That would be very, very dangerous for many, many reasons. Okay, Chazak Baruch. See you tomorrow. Bezat Hashem. All the best.
Kavod Harav, thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Yes.